Hi everyone, today we are going to learn about VPC endpoint, and we already seen how to connect private subnet using public subnet in the two-tier architecture. In the Windows instance, public and private subnets, we actually connect using the public private subnet using public subnet. Uh, we already know private subnet doesn't have the internet connection. Uh, in the NAT gateway, we created a NAT gateway and give a permission to access internet for the public subnet. But today we are going to see about using VPC endpoint. Uh, we transfer data to the S3 bucket. In the IAM role, we transfer public subnet instant data to the S3. But today we are going to transfer data from private subnet to the bucket. Uh, First, we have to connect to public subnet, and then in the public subnet we have to connect to the private subnet, and we have to create a file and we upload to the S3 bucket. For that, we have to do first we have to do create a public subnet and private subnet instance, and then we have to create a VPC endpoint, and we have to map to the IAM role for the both instances, and then we have to create upload the file to S3. Before that, we have to know what is VPC endpoint. VPC endpoint is a virtual private cloud endpoint. It is a feature in AWS that allows us to establish a private connection between your virtual private cloud and AWS service. It doesn't require internet gateway, NAT device, VPN connection, or direct connect. This connection is highly secure because it doesn't use the public internet. Uh, this connection is mostly built for this VPC endpoint connection is mostly built for secure and data security for while moving the file to S3 bucket. Today we are going to see the demo about how to create a VPC endpoint and how to logged into the private subnet using public subnet instance. So when we are when we are creating IAM role, we already created a Linux instance of public subnet. This one is public subnet instance, and I'm going to create one more instance in private subnet. So I give Linux private and I click Amazon Linux. They go for T2 micro and I select existing key pair. In the subnet, I edit VPC to the custom VPC, and in this private one, custom VPC subnet 3 private 1, and uh, existing security group, and I click launch instance. So we have to connect for we have to wait for the status check. Now, public subnet instance status check is passed. So I'm going to connect to the public subnet instance using PowerShell. So cd space. So here I have a private key. So I copy this location and I paste it here. So and then I click connect and go to SSH, copy this SSH. Now I connected to the public subnet instance, and then now I'm I'm going to create a private key file in the public subnet because it doesn't have a private subnet doesn't have a private key within it. So first, in the public subnet, I'm going to create a private key file, and then I'm going to log into the private subnet instance. So for that, I give nano AWS class NV Northern Virginia keypair dot dot pen. When I click enter, it opens the text file. So here I'm going to copy paste my uh, Northern Virginia. Yes, I copy and I paste it here. Now I give Control plus O. It shows here file name to write AWS class and I click enter and then control plus X. So now we created private key file within a public subnet instance, and then we have to give a permission. We have to change the permission for the key. So for that, we give a command chmod 600 and give the AWS class nv keypair dot pen. So now we can able to connect to the private subnet instance. I'm going to copy the private subnet instance SSH example command and I paste it here. Yeah. Now I can able to uh, connect to private subnet instance. So now we are going to give a create a file to upload to the S3 bucket. I'm showing here outcover bucket as my bucket. I don't have any file in this S3 bucket. So now I'm going to create a text file within my private subnet instance. For that, I give nano demo.txt. So here I give this is private sub subnet instance and we connect using public subnet instance. Now I'm going to save this, Control plus O, enter, and Control plus X to exit. Now my demo.txt file is created. Now I'm going to give AWS CLI command to copy to my bucket. For that, AWS S3 CP means copy demo demo.txt file and then space S3. Outcover is my bucket name. Outcover bucket. So you can see here buckets. Outcover bucket is my bucket name, and the region is US East 1, and I click enter. Upload failed because we don't have internet connection to the we don't have internet connection in the private subnet. So for that we are creating VPC endpoint. This help us to transfer files from private subnet instance to the bucket. Let's see how to create a endpoint. I click create endpoint. Here I give a name demo VPC endpoint, and I click AWS service. Here I'm going to type, and this type I click gateway type, and here I choose only Amazon AWS US East S3, and I click here custom VPC, and I click custom VPC private route table. I go for full access, and then I click create endpoint. And then we have to do one more thing. Here in the public subnet instance, when I am creating IAM role, I already mapped to the IAM role, modify IAM role. It is already mapped. And now I'm going to map to private subnet instance. I give EC2 accessing S3, and I map this IAM role to my private subnet instance, and I update IAM role. Now I try to upload file to S3, it will work. Yes, uploaded. Let's check the outcover bucket. I refresh. Now you can see the demo text. Now, just now it is uploaded. You can see the time just now, and I open this file means yes, this is private subnet instance. We connect using public subnet instance. So like this, we can using the VPC endpoint, we upload a file from private subnet instance to the S3 bucket. This make used in the very large enterprises. They have files in EBS volume of private subnet instance, and they thought to securely transfer that files to S3 means they create a VPC endpoint. And then NAT gateway also is used, but NAT gateway is the costliest method to give internet connection to the private subnet instances. But this endpoint is very easier way to make transfer to the files to S3 bucket. So we have to delete the endpoints. So go to actions, delete VPC endpoint, and have to delete the file, and I delete the bucket, and I terminate both the instances. Yes, you can see now, like this architecture, we first logged into the public subnet and we create a private key file within the public subnet, and then we logged into the private subnet, and in the private subnet we created a text file, and then using the endpoint we transferred the text file into S3 bucket. This is the end of the session. Thank you.